Joshua Chepkwony, or CK Joshua as he's fondly referred to, is your typically jovial corporate chief, albeit shy when it comes to talking about himself. He's the chairman and proprietor of Jamii Telecommunications, one of the country's leading broadband infrastructure providers, and Kass FM International among his vast business empire. He's most at home, his eyes brightening and tone going up when talking matters technology, not surprising as it is the sector that has spurred him to money and power.
We focus on what we call carrier of carriers, meaning that we build infrastructure and work with partners in order to do. We don't do retail, and we play the role of wholesale. And most of the operators who are here in Kenya and some who are ISPs, they use our network. Media companies, banking industries are using our services in terms of leasing lifelines.
Jamii Telecommunications is one of 11 companies that partnered with the government to bring in the East African Submarine Systems cable teams from Fujairah in the Middle East to the Kenyan coast, heralding a new era of cheaper and faster communication with the rest of the world. Jamii owns 3.75% of the 5,000-kilometer long undersea cable that was installed at a cost of $130 million or just above 10 billion shillings. The company has also linked Kenyan towns with fiber optic cable and is the preferred infrastructure provider for the country's leading mobile communications company Safaricom, meaning that every time you make a call or log onto the internet, there is an over 90% chance that you are riding on infrastructure provided by Jamii Telecom. The story of Jamii started here. Remember the simu ya Jamii?
It gave us a lot of lessons in terms of understanding the consumer in Kenya.
Simu ya Jamii, or community phone, became immensely popular and was easily the preferred choice for most people going into business. But being in the very dynamic telecommunications industry, it was not going to last long, a notion that was not lost among the initiators of the program.
We also thought and said that this business is going to die because immediately everybody copied. And you know, Kenya is very interesting. People copy their old system.
The company had distributed over 15,000 handsets under the slogan Opportunity for All, and Chepkwony says that the business did so well that most of the people who engaged in it recouped the investment in a short time. While others sharpened their entrepreneurial skills and moved on when the concept was overtaken by time, others fell by the wayside, a lesson that Chepkwony has carried throughout his business life, that in business there is never a time to sit on your laurels.
If you don't innovate your business, you collapse. You cannot afford to have developing complacency in business. Because if you think that today, because I have a customer, I'm sitting down now and say, oh, it's good, my friend, you'll have a competitor.
And while a force in the telecommunications industry, a sector dominated by players with years of experience in other countries, he says that his company prides itself in understanding the local environment and has taken advantage of this to stay ahead of the competition. Besides rolling out fiber optic cable to all major towns and within the towns, the company continues to connect counties with fiber optic and was first to launch the Fiber to the Home project, where the company initially targets to connect 100,000 homes with fiber optic cable.
There is a very interesting professor who was formerly the chairman of Intel, Andy Group. He say the companies who are going to survive, the paranoids, are the only ones who are going to survive. So if you are not paranoid in what you are doing, then you are dead.
For Chepkwony, business started from an early age.
I used to hire local butcher I could buy a coat and be able to do. I could hire some young boys to go and buy me chickens in the village.
And while he knew that he wanted to employ others, something he says drives him to this day, he says that most people fail by ignoring to take advantage of their positions in employment to cultivate good work ethic and acquire experience that they need when they branch out on their own.
Our work ethics is not good in Kenya. We have a challenge, and we are very selfish. And that is why you think that it's 5 o'clock, why am I working for this guy? So it's an attitude.
And he does believe in putting in the hours.
I believe in hard work. I happened in my life, in my other life, that I was in Japan, and one thing that I noticed the Japanese was they work very hard. They go to the office at 7 o'clock and leave at 1 o'clock in that night.
He describes himself as an inclusive capitalist, that is one driven not just by profit, but the need to empower others in the community and play his role in reducing the gap between the rich and the poor.
What makes me to wear multiple hats is actually to create opportunity. Because one thing is that because I have the knowledge, there is no need for me to have the knowledge and not start something that may be able to create an employment opportunity for a fellow Kenyan.
but do not feel shy to run after the money, he says.
It's not wrong to look for wealth. And I think that it's not criminal to look for money. And part of all of us is that when I look at money, I look that money can give you better access to good services.
He engages his satellite office in video conference before we conclude the interview, a snippet of what he says technology holds for the development of the country. But before we go,
I want to appeal to young generations. Please, 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 take risk. Do not fear risk. It pays well. I know it's painful. 2, let's improve our work ethics. If you are employed in a company, please work with full heart.
We also notice a picture of his son on his desktop, and on this he says that he is inspired by his family, that is his wife, 3 boys and a daughter, and they need to make the world a better place, not just for them, but the community around him and the country. Samuel Kantai, KTN Sunday Night Live.